students. It is late summer and we have got tomatoes coming out of our ears. And maybe you do too if you have a home garden. And what better thing to make than Caprese salad? So Italian, so Italian. Okay. So, Caprese salad has a rich history. It comes from the Isle of Capri, which is off the coast of the modern-day city of Naples. However, it has history that goes all the way back to antiquity. Emperor Augustus even had a villa, as did many other Roman bigwigs on the Isle of Capri. However, he did not eat Caprese salad. Tomatoes didn't come to Italy until after Columbus. And so in the 1900s, the Isle of Capri is still a tourist destination, and Caprese salad was made sometime around then, in the late early 1900s, and it has come over to the United States, and it is so simple. So join me as we make an Italian specialty Caprese salad. It is meant to look like the Italian flag. Red, white, and green. Tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, and basil. All right, Caprese salad is very well known. You take a big tomato, you slice it into like 1/4-inch slices, and then you layer it with a slice of tomato, a slice of mozzarella, a leaf of basil. However, my wife and I have a lot of cherry and grape tomatoes, so we're gonna make something a little different. They're rustic. And one thing we don't like is that cherry tomatoes have a lot of jelly in them, seeds and jelly, and so I don't think you're ready for this jelly. So let me show you what I do. I grab a handful of these. Now I'm gonna cover it in the sink with a colander, and then I'm just gonna squeeze. I'm gonna squeeze it like that, and then I'm gonna dump it in there. And overall, I'm gonna need 1.5 pounds of tomatoes. And so I'm not sure I'll get it all here, but I'm gonna keep squeezing. And then we have reached a little over 1.5 pounds. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to take mozzarella cheese. We got this at Costco. It's about 18 ounces, so a little over 1 pound. I already have one of them out of the package. You could see that they pre-sliced them for your normal Caprese salad. So I'm gonna take my knife sweetness, and I'm going to just cut these down a little bit more. And I'm gonna take 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and I'm going to drizzle it on just like that. I'm gonna take a little bit of salt, throw that on, and some fresh cracked black pepper. And then I'm gonna take my favorite spoonula, and I am going to just mix it all together. Now this is the beauty of my version of this, okay? My wife and I are not ready to eat this right now, and so we wanna eat in about an hour or more. So I can take this as a base, and I could put it in the fridge, because if I add the other ingredient, fresh basil, the basil will start wilting, and so I'm gonna add the basil at the end. But this is strong enough to hold up to it, and in fact, it'll probably taste better because it will marinate. So let's add the green. Okay, so here I have some basil leaves, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to show you a technique known as chiffonade. Chiffonade sounds very French. I think it is French. I'm not exactly sure where it comes from. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stack up these leaves like this, and then I'm gonna roll them into this little cigar looking thing. I'm gonna take my 8-inch chef knife sweetness, and I'm just going to, and as you can see, it makes these nice little ribbons that once I put on to the Caprese salad, it'll add obviously the green element of the Italian flag, but also that lovely peppery basil flavor. And so, and here's the other thing. My wife and I aren't gonna eat this all tonight. This is a lot. And so by doing the basil now and separately, and then adding it and then drizzling on some balsamic vinegar, we can save some of this for tomorrow. All right, normally in Italy, like I said earlier, this is an appetizer or a side dish, but for tonight, because I had a big lunch, this is dinner, and it's delicious. Once again, tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, basil. I've added salt, pepper, and some balsamic vinegar. This is a true Italian dish. Bellissima.